Welcome, everyone, to the World Podcast. I'm Dean, your host.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Aaron.
I was trying to go really fast and make people think that they're putting it on like a higher speed, but they don't have it on a higher speed and be confused, and it didn't work. So today, Carrie is going to... You guys let me get away with your host, by the way.
Yeah, we're tired.
Okay. That's good. So maybe some caffeine for you, Carrie?
I mean, we're tired of calling you on your host.
I see. So you're getting...
Yeah.
Okay, getting nasty.
Yeah.
All right. So today, Carrie is going to bring us a murder? No, not... It's weird. That's all I can tell you.
It is a crime story.
That's right. I knew
There
it was
is
something
crime
criminal.
involved.
Okay, got it.
And it's a bit of a, not hometown, home region. This is the area of the globe where we live.
Okay.
Ish. And it happened about 5 years ago on March 23rd, 2015.
So about 6 years ago.
Oh, that's right. It's 2021.
Yeah,
now.
Carrie.
God.
Well, we're going to talk about a young woman named Denise Huskins,
Denise.
29 years old, and her boyfriend, whose name is Aaron Quinn.
No way.
Wait a minute.
Does he misspell it?
That's me.
His is Aaron.
Yeah,
Aaron's is,
I can accept that.
I suppose.
I can reconcile with that.
in case you didn't know, Aaron is named Aaron Quinn. Quinn's her middle name.
They probably did.
Maybe not. Maybe
The whole
there's a new
idea
listener.
was to one day travel to Ireland and get free beer by showing them my
Yeah.
daughter's birth certificate and saying, well, okay then, you're committed.
I don't
Here's a
think
harp.
so. Anyhow, Denise and Aaron are both physical therapists. They met at a work function and as of 2015 had been in a relationship for about 7 months. I don't know if they lived together or if they were just at Aaron's house and Denise was just happened to be there.
She had a drawer. Let's just say that. I mean, they're talking.
Maybe.
But it's
yeah.
getting pretty serious.
I'm not quite sure. But this is on Mare Island
Okay.
in Vallejo, California.
Former naval base.
Oh, really? Everything like newspaper articles and things call it a suburb of San Francisco.
It is not really a suburb of San Francisco. It's a fair distance.
It's
Yes.
a suburb of Six Flags.
Yeah. Well, anyway, at 3 a.m., intruders broke into their home while they were sleeping.
Oh.
They were woken up with bright lights shining in their faces.
Wow.
And there was a man in their bedroom. They could hear other people downstairs, like opening cupboards and, walking around and stuff. And the man in the bedroom told Denise that he left zip ties at the edge of the bed. She was to get them and use them to tie up Aaron's hands and feet.
Is there anything more terrifying a scenario than...
Yeah, I'd just be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm not going to do shit.
Would you?
Yeah, and
Would
then
you
be like,
really?
uh-oh. Well,
She's
hey,
dangerous.
I dare a bitch to do yeah. I'll fight them. Fight them to the death.
Well,
You
I-
weigh 90 pounds, so I'm going to go ahead
Exactly. So
and...
they'll be like, what the fuck? And I'll come at them like a little spider monkey.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they don't know what to do. You got to out crazy them.
That's
so they
true.
just get scared and leave.
That's
well,
true.
that actually is true.
Yeah.
However,
Well, now that we've helped everyone with self-defense...
Yeah, when you're 90
Yeah,
pounds,
it's-
it's your only option.
Yeah, that's true.
the intruder in their house calls Aaron by name. And he says that he has information about him. Like he knows where his parents live. He knows financial details. He, however, thinks Denise is somebody else. He thinks she is actually Aaron's ex-fiance.
Charlize Theron.
I don't remember what her name is, or if I ever even knew it. But so at first the intruder seems a little bit baffled, and I guess he decides to go on with his task. He's weird. He's courteous and complimentary, telling them they're doing a good job, I guess being good victims. He puts blacked out swim goggles on them, and then he puts them both in closets, but he puts headphones on them that are playing soothing music and pre-recorded messages giving them instructions.
You guys are doing great. Now just lean over.
No, that's extra creepy.
They
That hurts
had
a little bit.
like a blood pressure cuff, so they were taking their blood pressure, asking them medical history kinds of
You say
questions.
they. So you said he and they. So are there more than one person? Is there more than one person in the bedroom right now? Okay.
Well, I don't know because Denise and Aaron don't know because at this point they have blacked out swim goggles on.
Yeah, but you said.
But they have heard multiple people.
Okay. They heard people downstairs, but as far
Yeah.
as
But
you've
they-
said so far, there's only one person in the bedroom right
Yeah,
now.
and they've only heard one person talking to
Okay.
them.
He probably has like a boombox downstairs with noise of people like ransacking a house just to make them think he's part of a gang.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on downstairs in
No,
a minute.
I like my idea. Just stay
Okay.
with it. Just you know what, change it to fit what I just said.
Well, the reason why they were checking their blood pressure and stuff is because they were going to give them a concoction to drink. And they kind of just wanted to make sure it was going to be safe for them. Presumably, they didn't want to kill anybody.
This is a super laxative. This is the world's worst hoax ever. The most violent hoax in the history of hoaxing.
It was actually a NyQuil type drink to make them sleepy.
Okay. It's nice.
Downstairs,
It's actually opium. Liquid opium.
Delish.
well, downstairs, they were marking off a section of the house with red tape with instructions for Aaron to stay within the tape lines.
Fabulous idea for a murderer or like a kidnapper to scare them. Do a chalk outline of a body near them and say, that's going to be you if you don't do exactly what we say. That'd be terrifying.
You just point to one. They'll be like, they don't use those anymore. And you'd be like, shut up, you're going to die. Like,
I just thought I'd throw that out there because it seems like that would be pretty scary.
Well, in addition to marking off the area of the house with red tape, they put up monitoring cameras.
Oh.
So that they would be able to monitor him after they left.
Oh, okay.
And told him if he didn't comply with their instructions, they would hurt Denise. First, they would tase her, and then they would cut her face.
oh no.
They took Denise and put her in the trunk of Aaron's Toyota Camry, and then they drove away, leaving Aaron in the closet, presumably asleep from the NyQuil.
Sure.
And then while they were still on Mare Island, they switched Denise into a different car, and they left Mare Island with the morning traffic, and then they switched her to another car before driving her about 3 hours away. Aaron wakes up the next afternoon. It's like sometime after
Wow.
1 p.m.
That was a pretty heavy dose.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it sure.
With instructions not to contact the police, not to move out of the taped area, and to wait to be contacted about ransom. They left him with his cell phone, obviously, and also Denise's cell phone, and he was instructed to text her work and tell them that she would be unable to come in for a few days, and obviously his work too. They worked at the same place.
A few days. That'd be pretty alarming right there. This is going to take a few days. That's not good.
I know. Well, then that also, if you trust them,
Well.
which why would you? But
Yeah.
maybe that means they're not going to kill you.
Well, still.
So Denise, after he drove her about 3 hours away. They kept her heavily sedated most of the time. She was put into a bedroom. She said she tried to talk to the kidnappers and talk about herself so they'd see her as a human being. The kidnapper told her
You keep on saying kidnapper and kidnappers. Is she seeing more than one person?
no, she can't see anybody,
Okay.
and only one person's talking to her.
Okay. That's, yeah.
So the kidnapper tells her that she and Aaron were good people, and they
Were.
are good people, and didn't really deserve what was happening to them.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, he's trying just to buck her up, make her
Like,
feel better
this
about being kidnapped.
sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just as bad for me as it is for you. He probably said something like that.
Like when rich people take pictures with like starving people in the background. Oh my God, that's really sad. Goes back and they're like jet.
Well, he told her that he had been having a hard time in his life, and she decided to tell him about an earlier assault that happened to her when she was younger, kind of thinking that maybe he would not want to victimize her again, knowing that she had already been assaulted once. She was wrong.
No.
Yeah. He raped her and videotaped it, saying his gang was making him do it. And then later he said his boss said the video didn't turn out good enough, so he had to do it again.
Oh, my God.
And that this time they had to kiss. And it was because they were planning to use it against her, the video against her, making it look consensual, and they would post it all over the internet if after they released her, she reported it to the police.
Okay.
So this was going to be leverage over her to not report it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Aaron, back in Mare Island, was given instructions to get 2 payments of $8,500. The kidnappers had told him information that they had about his bank accounts and credit card accounts.
How much? 2 payments of how much?
$8,500.
85. Okay.
So $17,000.
Okay.
And so they knew how much he could get. You know, like they're not going to ask for $1 million because they would not be able to get $1 million from him. And they wanted him to split it into 2 withdrawals so it wouldn't trigger any bank reporting requirements.
Okay.
Nice
I think
of
it's
them.
$10,000.
And he was instructed to say he was buying a boat if anybody asked him what the money was for.
I like to take out $8,500 and buy a boat. It's nothing.
The fuck?
So when he woke
Cash.
up, he had to decide, do I do what they told me to do or do I call the police? So he decided to call the police.
Yeah, you always call them.
Call
Yes.
their bluff and say, suck a dick, bro. Say, I'm white. I can get shit done.
You don't know he's white. Aaron Quinn can be not white. Okay. Never mind. I'm sorry I said that.
Okay. Aaron Quinn.
Aaron Quinn and Denise Huskins.
Denise Huskins.
Denise.
Also white. Yeah, they're pretty white. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, he called the police, and he was also pretty sure they were going to be suspicious of him because, you know, the boyfriend is always the suspect. But they were very suspicious of him.
Yeah, well, you know what? One thing right away they think is like, really? You can get $17K. This is a supposed gang. They're pretty well organized. They're going in different vehicles. This is not a super cheap kidnapping.
Yeah.
And they're getting $17,000. I mean, you think they go after someone, and they know they have inside information on bank accounts.
I
They
know.
go for someone who can get $100,000.
Well, that was part of the reason why the police were very suspicious.
Yeah.
Although, if you're going to fake it, why would you say $17,000? You would say,
No, but the police are going to
$50,000
know
or
how much
whatever.
money you have. So, right? If they think Aaron can't say they wanted $50,000. If he's faking it, he knows how much money he has in the bank. And
well, I know that.
okay,
But
what's your
I don't
point?
know.
Okay,
Because your point is, it sounds silly.
it does sound silly. It sounds
Yeah.
silly from the kidnapper's point of view.
I know.
Okay,
So if you're faking it, you would not make it sound silly.
who's you faking it? Are you talking about Aaron faking it or
Yes.
the kidnapper faking it? Okay.
Yeah. If Aaron was faking it, he would
And-
try to not make it sound
Yes,
silly.
and my
Kidnapper
response to
faking.
that was that if he's saying they know how much money, the police are going to find out how much money, so he can't say they asked me for $50,000
Yeah,
because they
that's
know he
true.
can't get it.
Yeah.
Not if the dude's dumb kidnappers.
Yeah.
Who are
he'd
just
have to-
bluffing about
He'd have to
money.
change his story, though. Yeah.
Or he,
If he's faking it.
They also have information about his parents. So they could presumably, you could get somebody from your parents too.
Yeah, maybe
I
they thought he
imagine.
was rich because his parents were rich.
Well, they
Yeah.
apparently didn't because they're only asking for $17,000. So
Because it was real. and it
Yeah,
wasn't.
because it was real.
Anyway, the police were very suspicious of Aaron. Firstly, because they thought why did you take so long to call the police? Well, they drugged me. I've been asleep for a long time.
I was napping.
He voluntarily provided blood samples to prove that he had been drugged. And they took his clothes.
He checks for NyQuil.
Yeah. Well, I think they could they?
Yeah, of
well,
course.
actually,
No idea. I'm
maybe
sure.
not if it had worn off by then.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They took his clothes.
They took his, but also I don't think he knew what he was drugged with anyway. But so they took his clothes and they put him in an interrogation room and they questioned him for a very long time, like 18 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah. Eventually, and it probably didn't take them too long to tell him they didn't believe him.
Wow.
They basically told him they thought he killed Denise and that if he continued to lie, they would paint him as a cold-blooded murderer.
So they're terrible cops.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Or, no, I'm sorry, just cops.
Let's
It's already
see.
implied that they're terrible.
Jesus.
Yeah. And they took his phone and Denise's phone. Then on March 25th, so 2 days later, the kidnapper tells Denise he's going to let her go.
How much later?
2 days. 48 hours.
Okay.
He's gonna release her, but he's gonna take her to her hometown in Southern California. So he knows her parents' addresses. Her parents are divorced, but they both live in the Huntington Beach area in Southern California. He drugs her again, which he's kept her pretty groggy the entire time. Drugs her again, puts her in the back seat of a car, and drives her about 400 miles to Huntington Beach, and then gets to her father's neighborhood and lets her out. And she has the goggles over her eyes, and she hears the car door open. He lets her out, and she still has the goggles on, and he tells her, when you hear me drive away, you can take off the goggles. She doesn't know where she is, and she's thinking, I'm going to get shot, as soon as they let me out of the car. She expects to hear a gunshot, and she hears the car drive away. So she takes the goggles off and realizes, oh, I'm right by my dad's house. So her dad's not home, but there's a gardener out doing some yard work. So she asks the gardener if he has a cell phone. And so she borrows his cell phone, and she makes a couple calls. I think the first number that she dialed, she got voicemail or something. Later, the gardener will tell the police that she was very calm, made a couple calls. He couldn't hear exactly what she was saying, but, heard her talking. Presumably, she called her parents. And so she gets into her dad's house, and then she calls the police to tell them, what had happened. Well, they were then, the way they were talking to her was more like she was a suspect than a victim. They weren't treating her like a victim either.
This is Huntington Beach, please?
No, I think she called Vallejo.
Really?
Yeah. Or maybe she called Huntington Beach, and then they connected her to Vallejo or whatever, because that's where the crime had happened.
Okay.
So the Vallejo Police Department made arrangements to fly her back up to Vallejo. And in the meantime, that was, probably going to happen the next day or whatever, she happened to call a family member who had recently passed the bar exam and kind of for advice because, she didn't like the vibes, the way the police were talking to her.
Vibe check, and it wasn't good.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you come back up to Vallejo if you get, why don't you just carpool with your kidnapper, air quotes, something like that.
Yeah.
They're pretty terrible at their job.
And none of the articles or anything I've read has said as much, but I imagine she also would have called Aaron and talked to
I
Aaron.
would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought they took his cell phone.
They did, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So this family member who had recently passed the bar told her, don't talk to the police.
Yeah.
You should get a lawyer. If that, if you feel like they're treating you like a suspect.
That you have to admit, that's an incredibly suspicious thing to do, though.
Yeah.
You're a
No,
kidnapping
you
victim.
can't trust the cops in any way, shape, or form.
But also if she talked to Aaron and Aaron's
If she talked to
telling
Aaron,
her.
yes.
Yeah.
If she talked to Aaron, absolutely. And
I
then
assume-
Aaron says they
yeah.
think that I did it and killed you. And yeah. Then she'd be aware. If she hadn't talked to Aaron, then you just got a vibe. That seems like a...
Like I said, nothing said that they had talked to each other, but how could they not have?
I would think.
Oh, they also... so she didn't show up at the airport. She didn't get on the airplane. So obviously, this made the Vallejo PD even more suspicious of her. And then it was reported that she was missing again.
Why?
Because
They
she didn't
reported
show
that?
up. Yeah.
So they reported her missing.
Yeah.
Well,
Not officially like to the police, but
yeah.
they
But they-
actually...
Reported it in the media.
Yes.
So someone must have told them that.
About 9:30 on the night that Denise was let go, so less than 24 hours after she was let go, the police held a news conference where they called the case a wild goose chase
Wow.
and a waste of public resources. Vallejo Police Department Captain James O'Connell said Denise did not act like a kidnapping victim. And
Because they've helped so many.
yeah, and if you see video of this online, there's also a 2020 episode about this. It's Lieutenant Kenny Park,
Kenny Park.
You can just
That's,
choke
the
on
name
a
right there.
fucking huge dildo. I hope
Why
it's so
he-
long it touches your little asshole. You fucking freak.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, why?
Wow.
Wish I could serve my ass. Anyway, keep going.
Why Lieutenant Kenny Park was chosen
Yeah.
to give public statements to the media is a good question to be asking
We don't
yourself.
think she's a kidnapped victim. He's like,
But anyway,
barely out of puberty.
yeah, his public statement said they perpetrated a hoax, they had plundered police resources, and that the police department would be pursuing criminal charges against them.
Wow. I like plundered. I think Kenny has a thesaurus, and he knows how to use it. I'm proud of him.
I hope he shoves it up his fucking
Okay.
asshole.
Okay.
They had told
So hard it
Aaron,
touches his teeth.
Okay. We got it.
the police told Aaron that they believed he concocted the kidnapping hoax so that he could be on reality TV.
Yeah.
How many episodes of the real life had he been on by then for that to justify their theory?
And they offered both Aaron and Denise immunity for whichever one of them would give the other one up first,
Wow.
which obviously neither one did.
In fairness to them, obviously this is a ridiculous jump to a conclusion, but there is that's not unheard of.
It looks
There-
very weird.
I mean,
yeah.
there were some weirdness about the kidnapping. Again, the $17,000 is very strange. The length of time it took to report is very strange. Her lawyering up after she's found is from their perspective can be seen as suspicious.
However,
There were some red flags there. Not again. They should have been in investigation mode, not
Yes.
in blame,
Yes.
immediate blame mode.
and
they got their
Aaron
feelings
had
hurt.
reasonable answers as to why he did,
Yeah,
why
he
he
did.
waited. I was drugged.
Yeah.
Why $17,000? I told you they had information about my bank accounts. They knew how much money I had,
It's
or
interesting.
how much money I could get.
We've talked a lot about how police tend to have tunnel vision. They tend to form. Usually, it's in the form of person X is guilty, and it goes from an investigation into who did it into purely an investigation to prove that person X, who we think is guilty.
Yeah.
And in this case, their immediate tunnel vision landed. Sounds like almost immediately
Yeah.
on this is a hoax,
It
and
was.
everything is just confirmation bias from that on.
Yeah.
They
Well-
couldn't do the nearest black person, so they just had to do them.
Plan B, hoax.
The other thing is kidnapping for ransom
That's
is really not a
insanely
thing
rare.
anymore.
In the United
Yeah.
States, that's almost unheard
Yeah.
of.
Kind of
It's
ended
so-
with Patty Hearst, I
Yeah.
feel.
I mean, this isn't.
Yeah.
This isn't. I don't know. Let's just say Brazil, where
Don't do
it
Brazil.
are some other countries is still fairly common, but in the United
Yeah.
States, it's so rare. You just don't get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, reporters at the San Francisco Chronicle started getting emails from somebody claiming to be Denise's kidnappers. And I mean, it literally was like kidnappers at gmail.com. So it wasn't gmail.com.
Oh my God.
They were some sort of,
AOL.com. I'm thinking.
Ooh, yeah.
no, they were like anonymous type email servers from different countries and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Triangulate signal.
Yeah.
.Russia.tv.
I don't know. I didn't write down where they were, but I don't want to give anybody ideas.
Oh, Albania. Never
But-
mind.
But anyway, they knew what they were doing, and they knew how to cover their tracks. But so anyway,
Kidnapper69 at AOL.com.
so in these emails, the writer claimed that they had kidnapped Aaron, and they were very upset that the police thought it was a hoax, and that the police were being unfair to Denise and Aaron. Because actually, they let Denise go without getting any ransom.
Yeah. Yeah. These are, which of course makes you wonder if it was ever about ransom
Yeah.
or more about rape.
Yeah, well, so these emails, long, weird, with the history of this criminal ring. They were young, college-educated men who thought of themselves like an Ocean's 11 team
Oh, good God.
of gentlemen criminals who only took stuff that was insured from people who could afford it.
and commit rape.
Well,
Okay, so
yeah.
you're not
No, just
one
gentlemen
pussy.
criminals, assholes.
I
So-
saw too many Brad Pitt movies.
Yep. Well, they claimed there were 3 of them doing this kidnapping for ransom thing, and that they had been part of a car theft ring, but they wanted something that would bring in more money so they could basically retire from their lives of crime.
Okay.
They wanted some big paydays.
Like $17,000.
Well,
3
the-
people can retire.
The
Pretty
Mare Island kidnapping was a training
much.
exercise.
Oh, got it. Got
to
it.
test their means and methods that they would then use on higher net worth targets.
Okay,
So
all
this
right.
was test and training.
Do they know that higher net worth targets tend to have a little more security than Denise and
Probably.
Aaron? Okay.
They
or
wore
not, or they did not know that because that's not training.
I'm sure they did. They wore.
I'm going to go hit Major League Pitching by getting into a Little League game with 14-year-olds. No.
Yeah.
No, not buying it.
They wore full body wetsuits to decrease their chances of leaving DNA.
So they'd
They look
also
sexy.
seen Point Break. Okay.
They also
Do they have
exfoliated,
Nixon masks?
Oh, my
They
God.
exfoliated. So they also saw a Gattaca. Okay.
moisturized,
I don't know what movie that's from. Probably lots of them.
and wore hairnets and balaclavas.
So they seen Bob's Burgers.
So they're
I
nice,
believe.
slippery and wet.
Yep. They said they did this for current forensic techniques, but also for
Oh no! You know what they saw? They saw
Bones.
the one in Boston where Mark Wahlberg kills Matt Damon. I just spoiled it, by the way.
The Departed.
The Departed, yeah. Yeah, he comes in and Matt, again, spoiler alert, everyone, if you haven't seen The Departed, but it's too late now, so just keep listening. So where he drops his groceries off and Mark Wahlberg's a cop, just walks out of the den or something and he's got like booties on and a hairnet and like a medical guard and Matt Damon knows what he's doing right away and he just shoots him and kills him.
Yeah.
So that's what they
Yes.
had just seen The Departed as well.
Well,
And again, sorry for the spoiler.
so this was also for current forensic techniques, but also for more advanced techniques in the future. They thought this is what they thought the future forensic techniques would be, like vacuuming up everything from a crime scene and then being able to isolate, amplify, and sequence every piece of DNA because there's, people drop dead skin cells
Yes.
all over the place.
Yes.
And so that they would be able to, suck up the dead skin cells of everybody that had been in that house and then compare it to a mandatory government universal DNA database.
So this is early MAGA paranoia cult. So, I wouldn't be surprised if something like the first part is in the not too distant horizon.
No, I'd love to think there's enough genetic material on like little dust things. But
I mean,
Yeah.
if you can get it, skin cells you're always shedding skin cells.
But he also said that none of them had any convictions that would require fingerprints or DNA on file, and that also none of them had any relatives who had.
So they were thinking get match back then?
I guess.
Was that a thing in 2015?
No.
I didn't think so either.
Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
I don't know.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, they weren't doing genetic. I don't think they
I don't
were
think
doing.
so either. That's fairly new.
Yeah.
Last 2 or 3 years,
I know.
that at least publicly.
He did have a weapon, but in the emails, he reveals that they were fake guns.
Square guns.
They were like super soaker kind of guns.
Gee,
my
okay. They're
God.
big red with little pump action.
Spray
super
come
soaker
on.
cat piss.
Spray painted black,
Spray paint.
and they duct taped strobe lights and laser pointers to them. Onto them so that
Okay.
in the dark Denise and Aaron saw little red dots in the room and
Okay.
stuff, so it was scary. They were scary.
I would, except when you got closer and you saw it was a super soaker.
You heard the water sloshing around
as they're running by.
and the pump action. Like, yeah.
It's a
Well,
Nerf.
The writer of this email gave information about his team, saying that the one who went with Denise became very sympathetic to her, and he called it a case of reverse.
I was just going to say that. Reverse Stockholm syndrome. Yeah.
Yep. And that he had wanted to let her go and abandon the plan.
Kind of did.
Yeah. He was amazed that when he showed Denise a news article about her abduction, she was more worried about how her family was doing than she was. And she also asked what time she would get back on Wednesday and whether it would be in time for work, and wondered what her boss and her patients were thinking about what was going on. So they were just this kidnapper, the reverse Stockholm syndrome guy, like, she cares more about other people than herself. She's such a good person.
Let's not kill her.
Yeah. He said, quote, by the strength of her character, Denise more or less broke up a professional kidnapping for ransom ring before it got off the ground.
I'm not sure how professional it is, but she did a good job.
He also wrote that he thinks God put her in their paths to stop them from committing more crimes.
Okay, he is not going to be a good kidnapper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just say that right now.
Basically, they were shamed and guilted into
Yeah.
stopping.
I don't think those are good qualities for kidnappers. That's just
Yeah.
me.
And then he included a link to a photo sharing website with, quote, corroborating photos.
Oh.
And they were photos of the fake guns, cameras, equipment, gloves, zip ties, a blood pressure cuff, and burner cell phones, and things that from their little car theft ring, like license plates and equipment for that kind of stuff. And then a bunch of items stolen from other Mare Island homes in robberies, because they had done a bunch of
right.
robberies too.
Okay.
And these things would be identified by victims later on to corroborate.
That's
Denise and
actually
Aaron's
pretty, I was just
story.
going to say, because otherwise the police are probably thinking, oh, well, it's just Denise and
Yeah.
Aaron putting this to make themselves look like it was a kidnapping. But unless
Yeah.
Denise and Aaron are a burglary team,
awesome.
Yeah.
then
Yep.
it's real.
And the Vallejo police eventually do confirm the break-ins where these things were stolen from.
But what if Denise and Aaron are a burglary
They
team?
could have been.
That would be genius. Karen and I think about becoming private detectives.
Yeah.
We've been thinking serious about this.
I thought you were going to say burglars.
But maybe now, I'm just thinking, maybe now we
Now we're
become
gonna
burglars.
change.
And
Both.
I don't know.
I'd rather
Yeah,
be
we can
private
be both.
detectives.
Let's be both.
I'd be too scared.
Okay. We
Burglars.
could burgle people and then get hired to solve the burglary. And I don't know how that's going to help.
We'd always
But-
recover their items, but never the perpetrators.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Some of their items. Let's not be stupid about it.
Nobody's ever going to catch on. Also, gave a picture of the room where Denise was held. He said, taken while she was in the bathroom with her prescription glasses on top of the dresser. And then a picture of a logo they created and that they put on any materials given to victims saying, "Keep quiet, be noble, and bear your own suffering, or your family will." Dun, dun,
First of
dun.
all, worst slogan ever. It's just
Yeah,
too
what the
long. It's
fuck?
not zippy. It doesn't
Yeah,
have any
there's
impact.
no ring to it.
Second of all, does it have a physical logo? Is there a swoosh? Is there anything here? Is there
Yeah, I would have
a
liked to
K
have
with a
seen-
circle around it? Something. I mean,
I don't know what it looked like, but I didn't see
very
it.
disappointing. Their logo and sloganeering is
Yeah.
disappointing.
So then that was sent to the newspaper. Then on March 30th, they sent an email to Lieutenant Kenny Park, threatening him if he didn't issue a public apology within 24 hours of receiving the email using the words "we were wrong" or something very similar. He said he would release a lot of personal information about Officer Park to the
Wow,
public.
who are these people?
Home address, social security numbers,
He's gonna dox him.
etc.
Just do it anyway.
He also gave the Vallejo Police Department the address of a grow house and told them where a drug dealer lived, said they had stolen an envelope of what they assumed was drug money, but that he must be a fairly low-level drug dealer
It was
because I think it was like
$17.
a lot of $1 bills and stuff.
It's a strip club.
Hey,
It's a strip club
who do you
bouncer.
think buys drugs?
Well, not $1 bills.
Yep.
Well, in this email to Lieutenant Kenny Park, he said they have done a lot of wrong things for the wrong reasons, but if forced, they will do the wrong things for the right reasons.
Okay.
Meaning, tell the police that Denise and Aaron were innocent. And then
These
next
are
day,
the most altruistic kidnappers ever.
and then the next day, shortly before the 24-hour deadline, he sent another email talking about the public apology, but also making an offer to turn himself in
What?
if the other two kidnappers would be given full immunity
Wow.
and if they agreed not to pursue any other criminals in their supposed crime ring.
That's a hard no.
And with lots of details about, attorneys and, how they would go about turning himself in and all that kind of stuff.
That's not going to happen.
He says they will break no more laws.
Pinky swear.
Yep. One of the kidnappers had already been, quote, done in. The other one
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Was he tired?
The
Is
other
he
one
tuckered?
has had a mental breakdown.
God, these are the worst.
And that he is, the writer, is spooked and looking over his shoulder, and that he'll probably have to go off the grid and do nothing but read for the rest of his life.
This would happen when three guys used to write on Reddit a lot decide to do something in real life.
Yeah.
This is not healthy.
Well, he was going to have to go off the grid and do nothing but read for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
or leave the country and teach English.
I'm weighing my options. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if I do B, what country do you recommend? Any ideas? I'm thinking the Caribbean.
So basically, for 4 months, so after March, April, May, June, July. Wait, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah. So for
Carrie
4
just
months,
figured out calendars, by the way, right here live on.
Denise and Aaron, because there were lots of news stories about this.
Yeah.
I remember it.
I remember distinctly
when it happened.
and I honestly, my first thought was because you only heard the police side was like, yeah, it probably is a hoax. It probably because this was how long after or before? Obviously,
After.
It was after. That's what I thought. I'm not saying what it is because I imagine you're going to bring it up in a second. Okay.
But not much after.
Okay.
So for 4 months, they were basically called hoaxers in the media. The public sentiment was very much against them. In fact, their employer wouldn't talk to them because the police had basically told their employer that they were lying. The police refused to return their cars to them or even their driver's licenses.
Yeah, that's just evil.
Yes.
There's no legal grounds for doing that.
Oh, well.
They're not charged with a
Evidence.
crime.
Let me tell
No.
you.
I
Wait
don't know.
until you hear about the other things cops do that they have no legal grounds to do.
Yeah. Then in June, in Dublin,
California,
which
let's just make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, California.
It's the
not,
Bay Area.
not too far away. How far is Dublin from Vallejo?
Probably, that's probably 40 miles.
Okay.
Still in the greater Bay Area.
Yes.
The greater San Francisco Bay Area.
Yes. But this tells you, well, never mind. But in June, there was another home invasion, very similar to Denise and Aaron's. This time, the woman was able to get free and call the police saying an intruder came into their bedroom in the middle of the night, shining bright lights in their faces, trying to restrain them with zip ties. Yeah. And she said her husband was struggling, fighting with the intruder. So while that was happening, she was able to get away, lock herself in the bathroom, and call 911. And her husband did get in a scuffle and, ended up getting hit on the head. But
he might call that more than a scuffle, but I'm just, go ahead.
Well, but the intruder ended up fleeing. Mm-hmm. So the couple, after they heard the intruder leave, they came out of their bedroom and they found a cell phone that didn't belong to either one of them sitting on a cabinet in the hallway. And obviously they turned it over to the police. The home screen on the phone was locked. Yeah. But here's how the police were able to figure out what phone number was on that phone. You can call 911 from the lock screen without unlocking it.
Yeah.
So they called 911 and asked the dispatcher, what's the number of this phone that called you? Then they go to Verizon, and Verizon gives them the name and address of the person whose phone that is. And that person, so the owner of that cell phone, their physical description did not fit the physical description of the
attacker.
The intruder.
So it's probably stolen.
But the address was a home in Orangevale, Sacramento area. Mm-hmm. So they go to that address, and there they find a woman who says, "Oh, that phone actually belongs to my son. His name is Matt Mueller."
Uh-oh.
And he told me he lost his phone earlier that day or the day before or something like that. Well, Matt Mueller.
Mom just turned him over. I guess you'd have a choice. They're going to find out who he is, obviously.
Yeah. And she also didn't know. Oh, maybe they found his phone.
Oh,
that's probably what she
Matt,
thought.
come on down. Cal's found
found
your phone. Okay. What are those zip ties doing in your hand? Okay.
Well, she said her son Matt doesn't live there. He stays primarily at their home in North Lake Tahoe.
Oh. They got some cash.
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt Mueller.
And they live in Orangevale? Okay, I'm sorry. But
why? What's Orangevale like?
Fantabulous.
Well,
it's okay.
I mean, they could have bought both the home in Orangevale and Tahoe in 1970.
Okay, but now I sound like a snob, so we have to cut this out.
You are a snob. Anyway, they obviously look up this Matt Mueller character. He had been a subject in a burglary, criminal threats, robbery, and attempted sexual assault.
Whoa.
Okay.
Investigated by the Palo Alto Police Department, but no charges were ever brought.
So he's odd. He's working in the Bay Area. His parents are in Sacramento area, and he's even further away in North Lake Tahoe, where his home base is, but he's working in the Bay Area. That seems strange.
What do you mean working in the Bay Area?
His criminal activity is in the Bay Area. I'm assuming he's the kidnapper.
Yeah.
And so...
That's what you do. You never do it in your hometown.
Yeah, you do.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Almost everyone does.
Well,
That's
yeah,
how they
lots of-
Yeah,
find
because
half
they're
of it.
terrible.
Well, and the Lake Tahoe area was within the area where they had traced calls that came into Aaron's phone from the kidnappers,
Huh. All right.
which Aaron wasn't able to get to presumably pay the ransom because the police had taken his phone and put it in airplane mode.
So he took her to North Lake Tahoe, didn't he?
Yes.
Initially, because that's about
Yeah.
3 hours away.
Yeah, exactly. So they call the Tahoe police and,
Probably Truckee. There's no Tahoe.
well, whatever. They give him the address and everything, and they go. They find nearby a stolen Mustang convertible. And that stolen car was mentioned in the weird email that was sent to the San Francisco Chronicle talking about their whole, car theft ring that they started out doing.
Yeah.
And so the police then go to the Tahoe house. Very easily, they're able to arrest Matt Mueller. He gave up without a fight. And they get a search warrant, and they search the house and the car and find a treasure trove of evidence, including Aaron's laptop, GPS programmed to the Huntington Beach address where he
Man.
dropped her off,
He's just not good.
swim goggles covered with duct tape.
You get rid of these things, Matt.
I know.
It's just not.
It's almost like he wanted to get caught.
He should've
Some
got it.
fuck probably should have never done it in the first place.
Should have
then.
just been teaching English.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Swim goggles covered with duct tape that had long blonde hairs stuck in it.
Jeez.
Denise had long blonde hair. And then a painted toy gun with the flashlight and laser pointer.
So he didn't lie
taped to
about
it.
that. That's nice. That's good.
So now Denise and Aaron are basically suddenly exonerated.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck all of you.
And this is June still, so it's been about 3 months. For them. Okay.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this character, Matt Mueller. He's from Sacramento area, Orangevale probably. He probably grew up in that house where his mom was. After high school, he joined the Marines, where he was stationed in Okinawa from 1995 to 1999. Came home, went to college at Pomona College. Is that Claremont Colleges? Is that part of that?
I'm assuming
System?
you don't mean Cal Poly Pomona. You
No,
mean-
I don't think
okay.
so. It said Pomona College.
That's, yeah,
Okay.
near there.
It's SoCal.
I think it's affiliated. I'm not sure, to be honest, but
Yeah,
I think
don't know.
so.
Well, Pomona College. Then Harvard Law.
Harvard Law.
Yeah, only the best go there.
He was at
Apparently.
Harvard from 2003 to 2006. Got his JD.
Wow.
And then was admitted to the California bar in 2011 and got a job for a San Francisco law firm doing immigration law. He had gotten married somewhere along the line, and by 2015, things for him had kind of gone off the rails. He was his marriage was ending. He was getting disbarred.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What for?
Like, I don't think he was doing a good job with clients, and then like he was supposed to pay a client back like $1,200, and because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, and he was ordered by the bar to pay it back, and he never did.
Wow.
Damn.
So yeah.
$1,200 to lose your law degree with your Harvard Law JD. That's
Well,
just
I
not
know.
thinking.
Yeah.
He said he was diagnosed as bipolar in 2008, that he had Gulf War illness and problems with psychosis.
Okay, well, now, from
Yeah.
what? Being
Plenty of
stationed in
people do,
Okinawa?
and they don't do that
Exactly.
shit. So that's not an excuse.
Well, his mental health issues might have contributed to why he wasn't a successful lawyer. You know, he was
Sure.
having problems with his job, but no, it's not an excuse for
No,
becoming a
it's
criminal.
not.
So he was charged in federal court with Denise's kidnapping because, you know, the FBI got involved. I guess, are they involved in all kidnappings?
Yes.
Okay. Aaron said he believed if Denise had not gotten released by the kidnappers, he would be in prison. 100%.
Wow.
Because
He's probably right.
yeah, he probably is right. So Denise
Wait, say that again?
Aaron
Yeah.
said he believes if the kidnappers hadn't let Denise go,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That
he'd be in jail
he'd
for
be
murder.
jailed. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Because comes
Or, well,
together,
or at least
Joe.
he'd be. I mean, there'd be no evidence because he didn't do it, so
Yeah.
there'd be no positive evidence. So he may not be in jail, but he'd be under heavy suspicion by the
Yeah.
police.
No, I think they'd still
Yeah,
find a way
I
because
do
they
too.
do it.
Well, Denise and
plenty
Aaron
times.
were happy that the truth was coming out, but they were still furious with the Vallejo PD.
I would. What is it? Libel when people
Defamation.
defamation. I would sue every dumbass bitch that like made a Facebook status or just for defamation because y'all they proved it wrong, bitch. Like exact. I'd say pay me, bitch. I'd be getting rich as fuck.
Kenny Park isn't probably going to be on the end of a lawsuit, I'm assuming, and
I
Vallejo
hope so.
PD for sure.
No, they probably gave him a raise and a promotion. It's like, good
Oh my God,
job, buddy.
you guys are both right.
Oh no!
I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay, all right.
Basically, they felt the police didn't do their jobs to protect the public, obviously. They also never got a public apology. And the
That's
police...
just douchey. I'm sure there's a lawyer going, "No, you can't apologize," because lawyers are,
Yeah.
what's what I'm looking for, dicks.
I mean, they
But-
basically stood by their statements, not necessarily that it was a hoax and they were lying, but that based on all the
Yeah.
information they had at the
no,
time,
you're
you know,
wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
yeah.
They haven't
They
changed
were still
since their
wrong.
slave
Based on
catching
a
days.
super incompetent interpretation of the evidence you had in your time, so
Yeah.
that doesn't excuse it.
And they were especially angry that because the police had taken Aaron's phone, he wasn't able to receive instructions from the kidnappers about the ransom.
Yeah.
And I mean, the police put it in airplane mode. So the police weren't even able to get, you know, they...
Yeah.
Because they just assumed she was dead
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they suck
Ooh,
at.
sorry.
So,
Well,
but-
I mean, their job is to be awful to the public. So, hey, they're doing it.
So, but like I said earlier, there were some suspicious
Yeah.
parts of this. But again, that puts you, the police, into open-minded. We're not sure what's going on here. It doesn't to immediately, publicly stating that
Right.
there's a murder. That so no, they have no leg to stand on
But also,
for their reaction.
you would think they would give that cell phone to some officer sitting
Yeah.
at a desk. You watch that phone. The minute it rings, you answer it and pretend to be Aaron or whatever.
No,
you
that
know?
would mean they'd have to admit that they're wrong. That they could be possibly, and that the other people could possibly be right.
Well, and
and
also-
they're not
yeah.
going to do that.
And they could have traced the call in real time as opposed to afterwards in June. Oh yeah, those calls that came into Aaron's phone came
Yeah.
from that general area in Tahoe. So anyway, theoretically, if Denise hadn't been let go, they had the means to figure out where she was with Aaron's cell phone or the area where she was, right?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
didn't pursue it
would
because
think.
they didn't
Yeah.
believe there were really kidnappers out there.
Yeah.
So
But
they
it's,
just, yeah.
you still do that. It's not
Yeah.
hard, right?
I
Isn't
know.
just seeing where the
yeah.
proverbial ping is coming from,
We know what.
right?
There also happened to be two other similar cases in 2009. So 6 years earlier, one in Palo Alto and one in Mountain View with very similar details. The first one was in September 2009. A masked intruder broke into the Mountain View apartment, handcuffed and bound a 27-year-old woman, claimed he was only there to do identity theft, so demanded her
Really?
demanded her date of birth, her mother's maiden name and social security number, and asked questions about her computer and DSL line, put blacked out swim goggles over her eyes, and sedated her with NyQuil. And then on October 18th, a nearly identical home invasion was done in a Palo Alto apartment of a 32-year-old woman. And in both of those cases, they also threatened to rape the women, but didn't. So 4 days after the first attack in September, Matthew Mueller had been stopped in Palo Alto in the middle of the night after someone reported seeing a suspicious man leaving one apartment building and walking into another. So the police found him, stopped him. He said he was an immigration lawyer, and he talked his way out of the stop by claiming he was a visiting scholar from Harvard,
Oh, good Lord.
teaching a seminar at Stanford. Detectives discovered that he had a connection to the first victim because she had attended a policy panel organized by him at Harvard the year before. So,
And so she's out. So he's a brand new lawyer in San Francisco. Palo Alto and Mountain View are both in the Silicon Valley, and they're near San Francisco.
Yeah.
So he's probably lives somewhere down
he
there.
wasn't actually even admitted to the bar yet because remember
Okay.
that was 2011. This is
Oh,
2009.
Oh, so is he still going to Harvard? He's just
Probably.
back home or whatever for the. Okay.
Yep. And I don't know, maybe he was. He did teach at Harvard. I don't know what he was teaching, but
Was it law?
before.
Bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Ceramics.
maybe. I mean, is law school just like graduate school where you?
I don't know
are
that. Yeah, we do a
you're
TA
a
stuff.
TA?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Probably. I haven't seen How to Get Away with Murder in a hot minute. So
So at first, he agreed to be interviewed about those crimes, but then he lawyered up. And then 2 months later, he disappeared. He was still married at the time. He left a note for his wife saying, "I'm going completely off the grid, no phone, email, credit cards, etc. So please do not try to track me as it will only draw attention." And then while he was gone, he wrote her a second message saying, "I have problems beyond my mental health. I live in terror most of the time and can't keep up appearances any longer. And this is perhaps the least extreme thing I can do to resolve it that does not also expose everybody to criminal liability."
Yeah.
And he
So
writes like a lawyer.
he's been bent for a little while.
Yes. 2 days later, he called her from Utah and she went and picked him up.
Okay.
But I mean, they had the means to
Yeah.
identify him as a criminal. And what did they do? He disappeared, so they just, well, he's gone.
whoopsie daisy, he's in the wind.
I guess we don't need to talk to him again. The Palo Alto Police Department determined they didn't have enough evidence to charge him with anything. So, bringing it around to something you were alluding
Yes.
to, Dean, the police didn't believe Denise, she thinks, because she wasn't bruised and beaten up. As an earlier movie, I think it was released
Movie?
earlier in 2015, Gone Girl,
Oh, okay.
where a woman, Rosamund Pike, faked her own kidnapping, but actually beat herself up.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't she like hit herself with a hammer?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah. She did do some damage.
Yeah. So,
And then she did terrible things to Doogie Howser.
well, Denise believes they didn't believe that she was a victim of kidnapping because she hadn't been beaten up. She didn't have any physical,
Yeah.
she probably had marks on her wrists and ankles and stuff. And I think she had like lines around her face because she had been wearing goggles for 2 days. But she also thinks if she had been beaten up, they would have accused her of doing a Gone Girl,
beating
herself up. So she said she didn't fight back and struggle with them because she was trying to survive. And also she wanted to preserve her own dignity. She thought she was going to die, and she didn't want to die being a, screaming, crying mess, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean,
She said,
yeah.
fuck all y'all, 2 middle fingers up, eyes
She
closed.
zened it. She's
Yeah.
a little more, she's calm, she's collected.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this says that she had seen the movie Gone Girl about 9 months before her ordeal. So I guess it was in 2014 that it was released. So she said the police didn't think she acted like a good enough victim. The Vallejo Police Department did send both Denise and Aaron identical letters, separately, but identical, apologizing for the comments made by the police department at the time. But basically, we apologize, but we weren't wrong. We were following the information we had at the time. Which,
Not good enough. I want
Yeah.
money. That's what I would
It's
send back.
like an Alfred plea
yes,
apology,
exactly.
basically.
I send back an invoice. Okay, nice. That's cool.
The Gone Girl
Well,
actually
yo,
wasn't the
checks.
case I was thinking of, by the way.
Oh, it wasn't. What were you thinking
Sherry
of?
Papini.
Oh, well, Sherry Papini was way after that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Papine.
Yeah. I don't. She was like, wasn't she like 2018?
And wasn't
or
that
something like
actually a
I'm
hoax?
not sure exactly, but Sherry Papini was a true hoax napping. And
Well,
See,
so I
that's-
wasn't sure if that.
that's
I didn't
what
think
Hoax
it happened before
happened, it's like-
2015, but
no, I don't think it
so
did
Gone
either.
Girl was the context in which that made them suspicious.
Yeah. Yes.
Bro, don't they know it's fiction?
Fiction, good
Yeah.
fiction, great book by the way. Book better than the movie.
Exactly.
Sorry, snob.
I made my wife watch the movie.
I've never
Now
seen
she
it.
thinks I'm gonna Gone Girl her.
Now she's legitimately worried. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I'm
Do you don't
sure it
want to
is.
see Ben Affleck's penis? Because you can.
Not a
Like
lot,
very
no.
briefly, you can miss it. Yeah, without even trying. So
Well, the investigating officer has a great name, Detective Matthew Mustard.
Oh, it's a good name. Is he in Clue? The games? No?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
gonna
He should
say,
be.
where's Detective Peacock nearby?
Well, he received the Officer of the Year award later that year.
But the guy who arrested,
Well, he didn't arrest him,
but who
yes.
led the investigation.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
God.
Sounds about
The
why.
most incompetent investigation of the year goes to Matt Mustard. Come on up here, Matt.
But both Detective Mustard and the public spokesperson, Lieutenant Kenny Park, and the city of Vallejo were named in a civil lawsuit by Denise and Aaron for
Yee.
defamation and emotional distress. And in 2018, they settled the city settled the lawsuit for $2.5 million, but they still refused to publicly admit they were wrong.
Jesus.
Yep.
I'd say no.
icky.
That's a condition. I would
Should be.
say 8 trillion or 2 million and a public apology saying your pee pee poopy butthole faces who don't know what they're doing. And
Yeah, and actually make them literally use that language.
yes,
Yeah.
and
We are
this is a
pee-pee,
quote.
poo-poo, butthole faces.
Any deviation will result in a 10 trillion ask.
Well, if you saw Lieutenant Kenny Park, you can envision him saying,
Let me guess,
"We're
red little
pee-pee,
butthole face."
poo-poo buttholes."
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
He's not the most well-spoken.
No, but he's a
Spokesperson.
spokesperson for the.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to think about having spokespeople who are not also police officers. It's not the
Yeah.
same skill set.
Yes.
It's not fair.
What skill set being
Hey,
rude
hey.
to people of color?
Okay. Good Lord.
Denise and Aaron still believe that Matt Mueller did not do this alone, even though the police believe he had no accomplices. They said, like I said earlier, they could hear people doing stuff downstairs while he was upstairs with them, which they think was, somebody setting up the cameras and
Yeah.
taping off the thing. And
Yeah.
so,
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's not certain though,
Did
because
they move furniture?
I don't, maybe.
in every other way, he's alone and he's the only
I
one she
know.
ever sees. That's very.
I know.
Honestly, if you made me come down on one side, I'd say he did it alone.
Yeah. I think he did alone
Yeah.
too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did it alone because obviously he's a big pussyhead because he keeps like doing anything he can to say like, oh, it wasn't me, I didn't do that bad thing. And so he wants to like spread out the blame to these other two imaginary friends that like
Maybe that's
also
'cause he
did
doesn't have
it.
any. That's another
Yeah.
thing too. He doesn't. I mean, I would think it would not be hard to look into his background and find out who his associates are.
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, he was charged in federal court and he pled guilty. He was sentenced to 40 years in federal prison. And then he was charged by the state of California for 6 felony charges, including kidnap for ransom, forcible rape, and false imprisonment. And he decided to represent himself
Oh, his last case.
because he could not afford a good lawyer. And he said,
His parents were like, "We're not putting
Yeah.
good money after bed." Sorry, bro.
He said,
Bye.
I did not plead guilty in federal court because I'm guilty. It doesn't mean I did it.
Oh, good. What? He's just being a
So-
dick. We were first we were rooting for him earlier, not the rape part, but the part about he was trying to get them, exonerated. He was going to he put the stuff on YouTube or whatever that was, and now he
Yeah.
has to do this shit. He has
Well-
to lawyer up in the purest sense of the term.
Somehow, some way, and these things seem to happen a lot, but he managed to get married again after his arrest.
That happens all the time. There's just a huge group of women out there who are ready to marry any convict. What is happening?
Yeah.
The more notorious, the
Hey,
better.
I think that says a lot about the pickings of men out.
I suppose.
You know,
That's fair.
less about
That's
the
fair.
women. who
Richard
choose.
Ramirez, the Night Stalker, is a better get than a lot of men out there. Is that what
The
you're saying?
ones I've met
Okay.
out there in the wild.
Well-
why do you think I'm a lesbian?
his
Just
wife.
saying.
Really? Is that why? 'Cause
Yeah,
you took a
I
shot at
was like-
men and you found them wanting.
I was like 5 years old and I was like, no.
Well, his wife has known him since before the kidnapping, and she says she still loves him and stands by him. And
Jesus.
she has told reporters and stuff that she doesn't know of any partners that he
Yeah,
had.
I don't think he had.
Hey,
any
people
partners.
still
yeah.
hang out with Chris Brown. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
I don't
I
think he had
know.
any partners though. I bet you he didn't.
Yeah, I kind of tend to fall on the side that
They, you know,
he did it all alone.
He may have said something, but people down there getting shit ready, so just shut up. I'm going to zip tie you, blah blah blah, and that puts
Yeah.
the thought in their head that there's
Yeah.
people down there. It could have been anything.
Yeah, but they think they because when you can hear somebody walking in your house, they say they heard people
Yeah.
walking around, but yeah,
There's,
you never know.
There's so
You
many
never
like
know.
white noise videos out there. There's probably like people walking around the apartments around you 24 hours. Chill music on YouTube.
Also, you didn't go into too much detail, but in the other cases, the Dublin case, the other cases, there's no indication he was with anyone.
No, yeah.
So, yeah, he was alone.
Yes. Well, he has given an interview with the TV reporter, and he said that he would agree to plead guilty to the state charges if Denise and Aaron would give half of their settlement to an innocent project to help people wrongly convicted.
Denise and I are going, go fuck yourself.
They're not the ones who should be paying
Yeah.
up. It should
I
be the
know.
cops.
And
The
I don't know
fuck?
if that's his way of kind of insinuating that he was wrongfully convicted. He's in prison for something he
No.
didn't do, which
He's
of course he is.
What a dick.
So I looked
Now
it
I
up.
don't like him. Before, I'm sure he
Yeah,
was out.
we were on
but-
his side.
Yeah.
Well, I looked him up to see whatever happened with this state case, if he was convicted or, he's already in prison for 40 years for the federal case. But as of right now, he is in a mental health facility. So he is basically presumed incompetent to assist with his defense. So the case is pretty much on hold until they deem him competent to
Really?
stand trial. Yeah.
That seems silly.
Yeah. Well,
This
I mean,
guy
because-
zooted, sedated up because he said some creepy shit to someone, and
He
they're like,
can still
"Yo."
be tried. I mean, he should be tried because you're going to lose that evidence is going to get staler and witnesses, all that. The whole reason you don't want to wait too long to try someone is all those things are in play
it's all
here.
the same case as the federal case.
Still.
So
But legally, I think legally they can't try him.
they can't.
No,
Yeah.
No.
well, I
They're
think
like,
they should.
darn it.
Yeah. And Denise and Aaron have gotten married.
Oh.
They invited all of their attorneys and plus ones to their wedding.
And
That's
Kenny
funny.
Park.
Not Kenny Park or
Colonel
Detective
Mustard.
Mustard.
I would
And-
invite them just
Yeah, so would
to
I.
have a trap door into a pool of live eels.
Denise still gets horrible messages on social media
Really?
from people thinking she faked her kidnapping.
What?
and
Yeah.
did it
Shocked.
for a girl.
Why are people
And-
such assholes on the interwebs?
She basically has PTSD over it, and
Yeah.
it's still horrible for her when she
Mm-hmm.
gets those
Well, Denise, we're on your side.
messages. I'm very much on her
Clearly
side.
working.
I mean, I don't know where they live now, but I mean, you have to presume they were forced out of their
Yeah,
community.
I know.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But then
want
I'd go
to.
back and sue for defamation and just go on a
They did.
a
did,
tour
yeah.
around wherever it is, like blasting, "I don't give a fuck about you," with like both middle fingers out of the car, yelling at everyone, say fuck you, by name, and then just like skirting out of there and like.
Or
going
they can just
somewhere else.
take the 2.5 mil and go try to rebuild their lives somewhere else and take the high road, Aaron. Maybe the high road.
Oh,
an
that's the
option.
high road.
I don't think.
Yeah, because it's called being very right.
Or whatever portion of the 2.5 million they got after
The lawyer.
attorney's
Taxes.
fees.
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
Yeah. So that is the story.
The not hoax napping at
Yes,
all.
it was not a hoax. So interestingly, you brought up the Sherry Papini case.
Yeah.
This case is why the sheriff department
I
in
do
the
remember-
Sherry
yeah.
Papini case had to take it seriously,
Yeah, even though
or
they
had
knew.
to publicly say they were
Yes.
taking it seriously, even though everybody who heard the details about that case had suspicions that it was
It
fake.
was bullshit from the. I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember that. I remember the sheriff just being really circumspect, almost like blinking like a prisoner of war. Like, I don't mean what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They clearly hoaxed it,
OS.
but we're sure investigating this as a serious kidnapping. Yeah, I remember that.
And they still have never come out and said one way or the other.
They won't. They don't want to lose 2.5 mil.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the Papini case, there's no question.
Yeah.
They hoaxed
I
it.
mean, there have been no arrests, no
Yeah, that's too bad.
viable suspects, no, the two Mexican women with bandanas over their faces
Yeah.
or whatever.
Bandanas. That's gonna do
I
it.
know
right
that
there.
didn't happen.
It's like it's the bandanas and hoodies. It's
Yeah.
the worst thing.
And apparently full body wetsuits.
Full
and
body wetsuits.
Yeah, she
and
missed that
swim
one.
goggles.
So
That was weird.
Obviously a hoax.
Swim goggles. I guess he did put some thought into it. I'll give him
He
that.
put tons of thought into
Yeah.
it.
He's got some gumption, some good planning skills. Too bad he's a criminal and a very bad
that just
one.
sounds like obsession.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly, he doesn't. Did he? I wonder if he ever really intended to get money, or I guess he did. And when he's saying that the guy who was talking to her had Stockholm syndrome, he's talking about himself,
Yeah,
obviously.
I
in
think
this
so.
case, and
Yeah.
so that may be what happened.
Yeah. I mean, he did call Aaron's phone with the instructions,
Yeah. So I guess he probably did.
but nobody got those calls because
Yeah.
his phone was in the police department in airplane mode.
Idiots. Well, thank
So-
you for that, Carrie.
Well, you're
It's an
welcome.
interesting story.
It is very interesting.
Ripped from yesterday's headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Any other comments, folks?
Nope.
Okay. No, really don't want to bash the police anymore a little bit? You still got one more chance?
well,
Gone. Okay.
They only care about protecting property, not human life. Facts. Check it out.
I mean, you got to admit.
Yeah, those
They're the
kind
bad
of
guys.
proved
They're the
this
bad
year.
In this
Here
case,
is the
no
story.
question.
Yes.
Absolutely true.
That was
Yeah.
proved this year, and this is a popular opinion. Let's go.
Well, thank you for listening. Carrie, tell them the usual.
You can find us at Weird World Podcast at gmail.com and on Facebook and Instagram and Weird World Pod on Twitter.
She's good. Yes, I will tweet this. I tweeted last time.
Yeah, I know.
See?
Good job.
Wonderful one. I got a string going. All right.
That's it. Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.